Welcome back to Homeschooled Podcast. I'm Agostino Zoida. I'm the host. It's great to have you guys back, and it's great to have back Kevin Lyons, the co-host of Homeschooled Podcast, is here. It's always great to have him on with us. And our guest today, I want to welcome back one of our favorites. Dude, I love when the couple times you called in. We have great talks, man. Rene Aguirre is back, you guys, and we're super pumped.
How's it going?
Just to fill everybody in, Rene and I met on a TV show called Stand Up and Deliver that he produced back in the day. I did season 1 and 2, and then just because we stayed in touch on social media and watched each other's posts, we kind of also realized we were both balls deep into some conspiracies and stuff. So we just have been sending stuff back and forth. And literally right before we started recording, Rene just sent me something else on Instagram, which I'm going to ask him about in a second because Kevin didn't see it. And but really quick, you guys.
I already saw it, though.
You may actually. He forwarded it to me, and I forwarded it to you right away. But you probably didn't have a chance to read it.
Let me see what it is.
Well, hang on. Let me get through the sponsors. You guys, before we begin, I would like to remind you that I'm going to be in Philadelphia, okay, at Helion Comedy Club this weekend, November 12th through the 14th. I'm there with our dude, Sam Tripoli, and I'm so excited to work with Sam Tripoli. I'm so excited to work with his fan base, The Swarm from Tinfoil Hat. They're dope as hell, and I'm just excited to do stand-up again. I miss it. So please come out. It's November 12th through the 14th, and you can get tickets on homeschooledpod.com. Click on tour. Also, I do have a comedy album out right now, which is material that I do not do anymore. So if you come see me live, it won't be the same material that you see. I have a completely different set on a comedy album. It's called The Bad Guy. It's available worldwide. You can get it anywhere: iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. You can listen to my Pandora channel, Agostino Zoida, and it plays my stand-up as well as others on there if you like stand-up. And all of that helps me out a lot, okay? If you can download my album, I would really appreciate it. It's a small 10. You put a little $10 in the Comedy Karma box, and you get my album, okay, guys? If you can't find it for some reason, please use the website, homeschooledpod.com. Click on merch, and I'll have all the links to download my album from wherever you prefer. And leave it a 5-star review. That helps me out a lot, you guys. And really quick, also, this episode is brought to you by Share a Sale. Share a Sale is a great way to get sponsors for your podcast. All you got to do, listen, guys, it costs you nothing. You have absolutely nothing to lose to fill out an affiliate application on Share a Sale. Once you're an approved affiliate, you have access to all these companies and products and services that people are just looking for, people like you, podcasters and bloggers, to promote their stuff, and they'll pay you for it. So just fill out the application. Click the link in the description for Share a Sale. Make sure you use the link, and it's free. Just fill it out. It's not that hard to get approved, you guys. I got approved. If you got a decent looking website, you're probably going to get approved. And there's a bunch of products on there. You choose what you think your audience would probably buy, and you just get paid every time somebody uses your link. So again, click the link in the description. It's free. You have nothing to lose. That's it. That's all the sponsors for today. Let's get right into it. Okay, Rene, you just sent me this this Instagram.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I interrupt you guys real quick?
Yeah,
what's up? Did you guys get alerts on your phones about an hour ago?
Yes, I wanted to talk about that too.
I didn't get one.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, it's a COVID-19 cases.
Yes.
Increasing apparently.
And you guys have California numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, because you don't have a California number.
I've gotten alerts for lockdown stuff for Los Angeles. Really weird. Okay, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that is really weird, and we I do want to talk about that in a second. So hold that thought. So Rene just sent me something on Instagram. Is this an old Q post that you sent me?
It's from June 4th.
Yeah.
And what it is, it talks, it kind of reiterates the 3 days or 10 days of darkness.
Right, the 10 days of darkness that's constantly talked about.
Yeah, so with Q, it's always, you got to take it lightly.
Yeah.
I try to source all my information from everywhere. A lot of people feel that it's an extreme conspiracy theory to follow anything Q says, but Q doesn't necessarily tell you to do anything. They just put out questions, they put out ideas, and they make you research. You do your own research. they're not filling your head with fake propaganda. At least from what I see, people who have never gone on the Q threads,
My
those
head is definitely getting filled with all kinds of stuff because of Q. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm easily influenced. My head gets filled with Q stuff, but every day it
well, because
changes. I go like, oh shit, oh wait, oh shit, it was really that, like on a daily basis.
because you look it up, you see what they're saying, and you do research, you look it up. You're not taking it by
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you're researching your stuff. A lot of people see a meme and are like, "Oh, that's Q." No, it's not. That's a
yeah.
meme is not Q. Q is an anonymous source of
Maychan.
information.
People know what
Yep,
those posts look like, especially if they study them.
And
exactly.
you're like the second person this week who has sent me something in regards to the 10 days of darkness. Actually, I think maybe Kevin was probably the first. Somebody else sent me one in regards to saying that they think the 10 days of darkness is because it was actually two different theories. So Kevin sent me one where we were talking about what was it, Kevin? That legally until 10 days after the election you can't challenge anything. Is that right? What were you saying,
Well,
Kev?
the DOJ.
Yes. So that could be 10 days of darkness, but then this thing you're sending me and the thing that the other person's sending me kind of is the same theory that we're going to have that 10 days of like miscommunication, like social media is going to go down, you know, and in this post that you sent me, it says like red. It basically takes you through the steps of like what's going to happen, and it says like the first thing that's going to happen is that the president of the United States Twitter is going to go down first, and then all sources of communication will go after that. Blah 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 blah. There's a bunch of stuff after that, and then right now the media, actually Fox, Fox posted this that let's see, it says Democrats demand Twitter suspend Trump's account at least until the ballots are counted. So like during all this recount they're saying like let's just take Trump off of Twitter.
The president.
Yeah. And so I don't know, maybe that is what's going to happen, or maybe that's what's going to transpire. I mean, it's going to be like, okay, well, you take me down, I'm taking the whole thing down. I don't even know if that's possible.
Well, that's what I thought that alert was when I heard it, because I was with a client and I heard their phone go off and I was waiting for mine and it didn't, and I thought it was the text. You know about the text, right? That he's able to do.
I kind of that Trump can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
the missile.
That's what I thought it was going to be. When I heard that going off, I was like, "Wait, what? What's going on? What's going on?"
What
It was the
missile,
Hawaii
Rene?
missile incident. Last year there was the missile warning.
Yeah.
That they did in Hawaii, and they said that was just a test to see if whatever they were trying to do worked. So Hawaiians got alerted that there was some sort of missile warning. They didn't know from who, from where, but it was one of these Apple alerts.
Okay, I got you. Just so people kind of know what we're talking about here. I mean, I think every state has this, right? Not just California, but like the ability where you'll get a message on your phone and it's just like super loud and it's an alert. Out here,
like Amber Alerts.
like Amber Alerts. Is Amber Alerts a nationwide thing, or is that just what California calls it? But anyway,
I believe it's a nationwide thing.
So
I think
tonight,
it's regional, because if somebody gets kidnapped in the area, it's a regional thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but like it can happen anywhere in the United States.
They just may call it something else. But anyway, so tonight we basically got an Amber Alert, but on our phones, where it's just like, normally you get this message like oh shit, like flash flood warning, like a weather warning, or we would get these like curfew tonight at 10 during COVID. We would have stuff like that, and then all of a sudden we haven't got one
like during riots. That's when
or during the riots they were just like everybody be in by 8:00, and we haven't gotten one in months. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere tonight, there's this alert that said, "Does anybody have it?"
I don't. I still haven't gotten it.
I have it.
I screen grabbed it.
I screen grabbed it too. Sure.
Okay. LA City, COVID-19 cases are increasing. Please wear a mask and social distance. Get tested if you have symptoms or might have been exposed. LA County is offering free testing with results in less than 24 hours. Sign up at coronavirus blah blah blah. Testing.
Promotional, basically. They're using this emergency alert system for like promotional shit. Is essentially what it is, because you're including a link, anything that has a link in it, beware. You know what I mean? What's your guys' interpretation on this? Let's start with Rene. What's your interpretation on this alert right now? Is it whatever it seems to be, or do you have your own theory on why we got that tonight?
Well, yesterday or 2 days ago, you had the president-elect say that he's already planning to do another lockdown.
Yeah.
So this is letting people know, hey guys, be ready. We're
projected president-elect.
Projected. Not by every single media source. There's still some valid counting sites that don't have him as the winner. But I think this is just programming, getting people ready to fall into the being submissive and allowing the lockdown to happen again.
Yeah. What do you think, Kevin? What do you think about that? Should we just take it for what it is, or do you think there's something else behind it for them to do that?
Well, what was announced today?
Besides that alert, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I do
something
know
happening on Hannity tonight.
I do know that Trump said that he will be starting to reveal. I sent you his tweet. I don't have the exact. Hang on a second. I could probably find it in like 2 seconds. Yeah, he said ballot corruption will be exposed tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, so 6 p.m. Eastern. I didn't watch any of it on the Sean Hannity show on Fox News. I didn't watch any of it, so I don't know.
You said 6 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m. our time, so 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Eastern.
So it happened already.
9 p.m. So 6 p.m. our time.
Yeah.
So that's right around. When everybody got that alert.
Exactly. That's right around when everybody got that alert. Dude, so I have a couple of theories on it. Well, exactly what Kevin said is, it came out right after Trump started to reveal some voter fraud on Fox News tonight.
It happened at 6:40. At 6:40 to be exact.
Yeah, and the show was at 6:00. So, but I mean, we don't know if any other states got alerts like these. We do know that LA County did because we live here. Well,
I knew Massachusetts has been. They had new lockdowns, new not just lockdowns, but new guidelines that went into effect. I guess on last Friday. There's curfews, and everybody has to wear a mask outside. Doesn't matter if there's anybody around you or not.
Oh, really?
You have to wear a mask while you're outside.
Dude, that's gonna be almost every state, especially if Biden gets in there. I saw this morning that Biden had tweeted and said, "Hey, I'll be your president on January 20th." And he goes, "I'm not currently your president." He goes, "But I will tell you, wear a mask." That's what he tweeted today, bro.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
He's already hinting at what's going to happen. He's already going to put lockdowns in again. He's already going to, make masks mandatory, and they're going to start writing you tickets if you're not wearing a mask. And that's exactly what most of us who didn't want him to win were afraid of, is things like that. Things, little by little, you're losing your little freedoms. And I'll tell you what else, dude, is that, first of all, when they thought Biden won earlier this week, or was it last week, late last week, we already got an announcement that the COVID vax is working. It's coming back like 90%, and everyone's like, "Good news! The COVID vaccine is on its way. It has a 90%, survival or whatever." And everyone was all like excited. You know what I mean? And it's like that's when they thought Biden was winning. That's when they projected Biden to win. Now, which is what we all knew. As soon as
the day after the elections is when they announced the vaccine.
Yeah,
90% ready.
Yeah, and that's when they thought that they had it in the bag.
Also recently then too, I also saw a study going around saying that it's okay to have indoor concerts now.
Yes, that's right too. That was the day after too.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so we all knew.
Flip of the switch. So, okay, everything's fine now.
Dude, no, not gonna lie. I was in there's an area here near LA called Inland Empire. It's more inland. You could dine in the restaurants. Inside, you could eat the Denny's. There was people inside.
Well, a lot of states actually have that now.
Well, I when I was back home in Massachusetts this summer, there were restaurants where you could go inside. The bigger ones that you can go inside. It was like a big sports bar place. People were sitting at a bar, but they were like social. No, wait, I don't think they were sitting at the bar, but everybody was at tables. You were able to go inside.
Yeah, even when I was in Oregon, dude, the restaurants are open inside, and they're a pretty like leftist state, but
Same thing with
anyway,
Big Bear,
dude,
dude.
it's like
Remember when we went to Big Bear?
yeah, that's right in Big
No, I
Bear.
don't remember because I wasn't invited.
He,
Next time.
yeah, we stayed
Dude,
we
I
stayed in
went
that
down to
treehouse
see.
behind you,
I'm in
Dude, it's
Big Bear
like
now.
nothing happened up there.
yeah,
It's like nothing happened up there.
dude. Yeah, Kevin and I went to Big Bear. And we went into this bar that would probably fire marshal would probably only want 40 people in there, and there's probably like 100 people in there. No mask. You can ask. I asked the bartender, like, you guys don't have to wear masks. He was like, fuck that shit. Like, dude, it was crazy. But I mean, we all knew that this was going to happen. That if Biden won, they were going to be some. I've been saying it for a while. There's going to be some miracle that they're going to go, oh guys, we found the vaccination. They did it with Obama and the swine flu vax, and then they're going to do it with Biden. They're going to make him seem like he's this hero and he had the vax. But now that the numbers are kind of like turning around on them, now that they're kind of sitting there going like, oh shit, maybe we don't have this one. We all just got this big message tonight that's like, putting the scare of COVID back into us again. Like, oh, it's not over yet, you guys. Which I think was its reason for existing to begin with, was to put this fear to manipulate this election. Look at all the states and their different rules that they came up with how you can vote. Like, some were like mail in okay, some weren't. Some of them were like you can mail it in 3 days late. Like, what? And like different states were making up like their own rules. COVID did all this, and
Yeah.
and now that they
It's
think
so
they're
funny.
losing, they're like going like no wait, COVID's back. And then also you had the Democrats all jumping up and down like, oh, we won, but and then all of a sudden they don't care about COVID anymore. So maybe that's why the numbers are going back up.
That makes me think of The Office. Do you have any idea what it does to have 3 vasectomies? Snip, snap, snip, snip.
Oh, yeah.
Go back and forth. Make up your mind. Like,
That is what this is like. It's like having a vasectomy and then having undone and then having it again.
snip, snip, snip. It is. I mean, like it is kind of funny because in this point I just started becoming quiet about everything, and I learned this from my grandfather a little bit. How you just stop talking, you just kind of sit back and observe. You observe, and then especially if they're talkers, because so many people are just talking. Eventually, especially if they're liars, they're gonna lie themselves into a corner, and so you just let them destroy themselves, and you just watch.
Which is kind of what's going on with this election right now. There's so many people that are posting a little too early, celebrating.
That's what I mean. Like, I could understand why people were getting like excited. Okay, that's great, but I'm just at the same time it's like, whoa, pump the brakes. People aren't realizing what year it is.
Hang on a second.
When you think something's going great.
Time out, because I know I said that we shouldn't go on long rants, but I'm about to go on a little rant. So time out right there. Actually, it won't be that long. So basically, this whole election.
Snip.
So this whole election, right, was people divided and arguing with each other. You either hated Trump or you loved Trump. There was nobody who loved Biden. There was just people who hated Trump. Okay, but either way, you had.
There were people who did.
I know, dude. I'm just saying. So listen, you have two people that were constantly arguing. You got into arguing to people on Facebook. You got sucked in to these, and basically the arguments broke down to, no, I think I'm right. You're misinformed. No, I'm right. You're misinformed. And that's basically what. And then it was, no, I do my research. You don't. You just listen to what the news tells you. And then the other people will go, no, I do my research. You're the one who's brainwashed. And it was basically that back and forth.
How could you not see the truth? It's right there.
Yes. So we now know the truth of who was actually right. Based on who already went and posted Biden-Harris won, we now know who wasn't doing any research and who was just simply watching the news.
Oh, and did you see you remember the Surrey thing the other night, right?
Yes.
That was crazy. Did you do
How
that?
old is the president?
Yeah.
I caught it after they already changed it, but I saw a bunch of videos where there was proof.
I did it twice on my phone. I just couldn't believe it. It's like right in your face.
There's I'm a baseball fan. I'm a Dodger fan, and throughout the entire playoffs, I had this theory where anytime the players started acting up or overreacting to showing up the other team whenever they would do something great. They hit a home run, they would start showing up. So it started off with the Padres. Everybody was quiet. As soon as they started acting up, even with the Brewers, as soon as the dugout started acting up, they started to lose. The Padres' biggest example, they would hit a home run, started acting up in the dugout, started to lose. Braves they started doing the fucking hand twirl thing. When they started doing that shit, you knew they were gonna lose. Tampa Bay, I didn't expect it from them, but it wasn't until I think it was game 3 or 4. They started acting up. I said, you know what? They're gonna lose.
So what's your theory on that?
This is what the left is doing. They are fucking celebrating and rubbing it in people's faces. And people, I hate gloaters. And whatever happens with the election, I'll take.
Oh yeah, me too.
You have to. You have to move on. But
Yeah.
the gloating is the downfall. So the videos of people dancing, stomping on stuffed Trump effigies. It's like, dude, you need to stop because next week your ass is gonna be a meme.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be so embarrassed. It's gonna be 10 times worse than if you just announce he won on election night.
Yeah.
You're gonna be that much more pissed off now because they're gonna take it away from you, and it's your own fault because you're stupid enough to believe that they won.
Well, at the same time too, you also got to watch how we're taught. Like that's a good lesson for us and other people, because even though you see these things online, what's happening? Oh, he's gonna win. Oh, hold on a second. There could be massive amounts of fraud, but still may not even be enough to overturn.
Yeah.
Even though you think it could. But all I care about is that we see what's happening. That's all I care about.
Yes.
Fair. Yeah, I'm not posting shit. The one thing.
Me neither.
This whole thing, I think I posted about the Chaz once because nobody knew what the Chaz was, and I just said, "Hey, you guys, look it up." They're not talking about it, and it didn't become news until somebody got killed.
Right. Yeah, man, I am learning the lesson that we unfortunately let the Democrats fall on their sword first because yeah, dude, that's a great lesson to learn. Don't gloat. And right now, all this stuff that I'm saying, I'm not saying that I know for a fact it's going to get overturned and it's going to be Trump. I'm not saying that either. I'm also mentally prepared for that loss. And the difference is, and this is what's really kind of sad about it, is that the right, if you want to call them that, otherwise known as patriots, they were extremely disappointed, and we're talking about rock star fans who I've never seen anything like it support for a president. We're talking about like as if he was like Bon Jovi or something. Like I've never seen anything like that. Like Obama didn't have parades like that, you guys. So we're talking about these types of people who, when not only did they announced that Trump lost, but they're obviously cheating, and even still, the Patriots are not going and destroying the neighborhood. They're not going and tearing the house down. And it's all the Democrats that were like, if Trump wins, and they say this all the time, I'm leaving the country. You never hear somebody say, well, if Biden wins or if Trump doesn't win, I'm leaving the country. We go like, no.
Didn't they try to say that? Didn't they try to say people were saying that going up to Canada?
Well, this year, every year somebody says, like, if the person they don't want, they're going to move the country. But it's like, I've never heard any, if you want to call them quote-unquote patriots, go, if Biden wins, I'm leaving the country. It's because they're the type of people that are like, this is when my country needs me the most. Yeah. I got to stay and fight for what I believe in. You're with your country no matter what, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, I think it would be extremely unfortunate. I think it would be a few days of crazy violence if they take this back and give it to Trump, but it might even be worse for the country that we completely lose credibility and democracy because we're going to let them have this clearly stolen election,
Clearly, yeah. Project Veritas is doing the Lord's work.
Oh, yeah.
They are digging nonstop. They started before the elections. They're doing it now. Do you guys ever go to the Gateway Pundit?
I heard about it.
They have they're extremely right wing, but they have a lot of information. They're constantly updating. They fall under zero hedge. Even Alex Jones, eight, 60% of the time he's on it. The other 40% talking about the frogs, but there's always a little bit of truth to take from all these
Oh yeah.
all these people who are called nut jobs, because they're doing the research. They're constantly doing the research and trying to figure out what went wrong. So we'll see. It's gonna be fun. It's not official until December 14th.
That's true. Did you also hear about the other thing that people are finding about the ballots, about how they were getting mail-in ones, where women's maiden names. Women who got married, their former name was being registered, and they were stealing ballots that way too.
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of people.
I'm telling you guys, so many people took advantage of it. And we're not even only talking... Listen, there was mass corruption within the Democratic Party itself of stealing this and the attempt to cheat. But not only that, but the people. We're talking about United States Americans for the most part that actually took advantage of what the coronavirus was made to do, and they've actually voted a couple of times. And some of these dummies actually posted it on their social media. Some of them actually posted pictures of, like, I'm going to cheat and we're going to get rid of Trump on their stories. And they thought it was cute and they wouldn't get caught. But people were taking screenshots of you, waiting for this day that we knew would eventually come. And now we're reposting it. I saw one today of a guy that posted, I voted 29 times in 29 different counties that I've lived over the years. A guy posted that on his stories. I think it was Kevin that sent me the one of the woman who is a ballot counter. Like, she works there to count the ballots. She posted on her stories, under oath, I'm throwing away every Trump vote. And she posted on her stories. And and then she went later on and said, I'm kidding. Number one, if you were kidding, why did you delete your account? She deleted it after that. And then
that's explainable. That's because everybody probably jumped on her because that's probably why. But still, even if you were kidding, dude, that's what you get.
And that's a very important job you have there. And do you really think it's appropriate to joke about?
I prank called 911, but I was kidding. But I prank called 911, but I was kidding.
Yeah. Dude, I go to stand-up comedy clubs, go on stage to tell jokes, and people tell me that I shouldn't make jokes sometimes because it's offensive. Obviously, you work in the place where you're counting votes of the presidential election. That's not the place for jokes. You know what I mean? So, it's crazy, dude. I will tell you guys this, that I have a cousin who was born in Oregon, but she moved out of Oregon by the time she was 18, but her parents are still there, okay? And she went and my cousin is really her mom, so she's like my second cousin. So her mom is telling me this story. So she went to school in Colorado, and she now lives in California, okay? And sorry, we got our little heads up that we have 10 minutes left. So and then she got a ballot in all 3 states. She got one in Oregon, and she never was even 18 in Oregon when she lived there. She turned 18 in Colorado. So she got a ballot in Colorado. She got a ballot in California where she lives now. And she got one back home in Oregon. And
so she never registered in Oregon.
She never registered in Oregon, but she got a ballot in Oregon. So imagine how many people who move all around had this happen to them, where they had a couple of different... Plus, you always keep your parents' address when you're young and you move away. And, you probably got a couple of ballots. And some people, like my cousin, who happened to... that side of the family happens to be patriots, you know what I mean? They're good people, and they go, we voted once, so we're not going to cheat. But some people, I guarantee you, are taking advantage of exactly what what COVID did this. COVID opened this opportunity to have multiple voting for one person. It's unbelievable.
Did you hear about Joe Frazier, the former heavyweight boxer?
What's up with Joe Frazier?
So he voted for Biden in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
He's been dead since 2011. Dude, it's fucking nuts.
Oh man.
Oh, you mean also the 120-year-olds?
Yeah, the people born in the 1800s.
I don't know why when you first started that I was thinking of the George Foreman. So it didn't even hit me that he was dead. Yeah, dude. Dead people are voting. I can tell you, dude. Every single state has multiple different ways that they cheated. Whether the people cheated, whether they throwed away Trump votes, whether they put in fake Biden votes, whether they destroyed votes. You know what I mean? Like voted more than once. I'll tell you what, guys. I could have voted more than once. When I went to vote so I got my mail-in ballot, right? And I could have voted in mail, but I decided to go in person. And when you go in person, you don't take the mail-in ballot. You take a different piece of paper that has your barcode that they scan, then you go in to mail in person. So, and not only that, after they scanned my barcode and let me in to go vote, I probably could have went to another voting station that day and voted again with the same barcode. Not only that, but I have my mail-in ballot that I never mailed in that I probably could have also mailed in. So that I had potential to do 3 votes myself, which I didn't do. That's how fucked this is. It's completely fucked up.
Well, either way, no matter what side you're on, I think, I mean, they really do have to rethink about this process, how it happens. You know, what is the most secure way to do it? Like, and like I said before, no matter what the outcome is, it's going to be interesting to see, especially if a real audit is happening, what kind of inconsistencies are happening or irregularities or whatever they're calling it, and how do you okay, what's the new iOS? How do we figure that out? How do we get rid of these problems? Because counting's still happening. So what is the best way to do this? Like, what is the most efficient way to do this?
Did you guys hear about the watermarks?
Yeah.
Yes.
The non-radioactive isotopes.
Yeah. So have you guys?
I saw how they do it too. I saw a video on how they do something similar to that.
Have you heard any updates on it in the last couple days?
Probably won't.
No.
Yeah.
I would love for that to have been real.
If it did,
it could totally be real. Happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved that to actually have happened. That would be so smart. That would have been so smart. I'll tell you what else, dude. My wife, who became a United States citizen last year in 2019. My wife was. Yeah, thank you. She was born in Russia, and she did not use the fact that we got married to get her citizenship. She actually went for the citizenship on her own. She did it honorably, and she got it right. And they automatically register you to vote when you become a citizen, but they spelled her name wrong. So my wife's ballot actually had her name spelled wrong. And when we went in there, she was there. They're like, "Hey, is everything correct on the screen?" She's like, "Well, actually, you guys have my name spelled wrong." And like, she just busted out her ID, and they just changed it right there. I mean, who knows what it actually did? Like, does it create a new ballot? Is her old one still valid? And I saw somebody posted today, like, how are we going to get through this? And it's like, well, you can just, we know it'd be a great idea. Someone said, it'd be a great idea. We can just vote in person with our IDs, like we always have.
Well, that's what he was pushing for. Just using IDs when you can't vote without an ID. That's fucking.
They didn't even ask me for my ID.
That's what I also agreed with, and the arguments against it are just laughable.
Yeah.
They
didn't even ask for my ID.
It doesn't make sense to me.
You need ID to buy lottery tickets.
Yeah.
You need an ID for everything.
By the way, the people who work at voting places are dickheads, okay? They're all super rude.
They're all volunteers.
Yeah, and they're volunteering and they're hoping that you're not going to vote for who you're going to vote for. And I mean, I've told this story before, but I didn't tell Rene that I got horrible treatment there because I was wearing a United States of America mask when I walked in, and they were over my shoulder the entire time. They were fucking mad dogging me, dude, to the point where I thought, do I know this guy? They were just peeking over my shoulder. And not only that, I walked in to go vote in person. Kevin, I didn't tell you this part because it's stupid. And I went in, and the girl goes, are you experiencing any, COVID symptoms? Like, are you experiencing a fever? And I said, vote fever. And I swear to God, she didn't even laugh.
Dad jokes.
Dude, she didn't. Yeah, it's a dad joke. She didn't even laugh. She just looked at me and went, "Really?" Really? Did you really say that? Like a cunt, dude. She was a complete cunt. And then I just said, like, hey, I go, it might have been silly, but I go, I guarantee you it was original, and nobody else said that to you yet. And she was like, oh, nobody definitely has ever said that yet. Meaning, like, I'm the only idiot who would ever say it. But they were just so rude.
In a million years, I couldn't come up with something that stupid to say at the moment.
I respect that.
Well, it was exciting for me. I've never voted before in my entire life. My whole life, I've been, the George Carlin believer. I've been the Mark Twain believer, where he said if voting mattered, they wouldn't let us do it. I believed that for like all my life, and obviously voting matters if they go to all these extremes. Like I believe that COVID was invented to help this election. So obviously voting does matter. So I decided to go vote this year for the first time ever, and I think it's a real shame if we let someone cheat, because I may never vote again after this, and that's what's at stake here. But anyway, we should wrap up because we only got like 2 minutes, and we don't want to end on cutting everybody off.
Even if you don't think it's going to work, because you never know. Just in case it gets audited, you're right there. They'd be like, "Oh wait, this wasn't." You know what I mean? That's why you should.
You might be right, Kevin. You might be right, Kevin. But I'm afraid of all the other people that might go, fuck this. I voted and they fucking cheated. So what's the point? So. But anyway, man, it's just kind of sad at time. But hey, we're still here. We're still fighting. We're still gonna make our moves and do what we got to do. And that's it, man. We got less than a minute left. I want to say a big thank you to Rene
Dude, thanks for having me again. It's always fun.
Dude, it's always fun to have you. You're welcome anytime, dude. You can come back as many times as you want. We love talking shit. Thank you, Kevin Lyons, for being here. I'm going to let you guys go before it cuts out.
Forward me your IG so I can follow you on there.
Okay, I will.
Send me those posts too, buddy.
Okay, I will. Yeah,
I get them already. So
Rene's the man.
Go sweep my treehouse.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys go ahead. I'm gonna sign off and do the shout outs and stuff like that. So Rene, thank you for coming. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Be safe, you guys. I'll see you on the outside.
God bless America.
Yes,
Love
indeed. Love you too, buddy. All right, you guys, log off already. What the fuck are you both still doing here?
All right, man. Take care.
All right, peace. All right, you guys. That was Rene Aguirre. He's awesome. He's a producer. He produces a lot of stuff, including like the new pilot that Sam Conspiracies Now that Sam Tripoli was working on, and he produces a lot of podcasts and stand-up comedy stuff. Just a great guy, fun dude, and that was great to get him and Kevin Lyons together for the first time. You guys, listen. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I said, I could be wrong about my predictions too, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, you guys. But anyway, I got some shout-outs to do. I guess the point is like some people, they just kind of celebrate a little too early, and that's just a sign right there that you don't really, they didn't really know how everything works. People forget about the George Bush, Al Gore. People forget that they actually named Al Gore the president for like the first 37 days. And then later on went, oh, never mind. It was Bush. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen now, but I don't know, man. I got a feeling that people celebrate a little too soon, which it's going to get dangerous. It's going to get dangerous. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and your family. All right. I'm going to stop yapping. Let's do some shout outs. I want to give a shout out to M and K710, otherwise known as Travel Buds. I want to give a shout out to Chris DeLisa and Bridget Diane. And Slice Man 420. I fucking love it, Slice Man. I want to give a shout out to Nick James, Joe Collins, Jack Kana, Helping Sheeple. I love that one. What else we got here? I got Daniel, which is spelled like damn, not Dan. What else do we got here? I got Illinois Forever in the house, Ego Death, Liberty Trees in the building. Let's see what else, you guys. I think I have a couple more. I want to give a shout out to Fallout Walt, Mark Simmons, Matt Miller, Zach Curry, Mike Wood. God, I get through these so much better when you guys have simple handles. Hellbilly Deluxe, Adam Collier, and Patrick Matthews. All right, you guys, if you're wondering why I shouted you out on this podcast, if you showed any kind of support at all on social media, or on the YouTube, or on podcasting like that, I'd like to give a little shout out. If you're new to checking out the podcast, please subscribe. I love talking conspiracies. I love talking, current events. We can't help but not talk about it. But most of all, I'm a stand-up comedian. I have a lot of stand-up comedian guests on here, and mostly we document the journey here, guys, the journey of following your dreams. So please subscribe. Please come back for more. I'm sorry to those watching on YouTube right now. The video already did cut out, but that's okay. Go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, guys. We're doing our best to build our YouTube little by little. It's getting better. Please subscribe. And that's it, you guys. I hope I see you this weekend in Philadelphia at Helium Comedy Club with Sam Tripoli. You can get tickets on my website, homeschooledpod.com, and click on tour, or you can click on merch and download my comedy album. The links are there, or you can click on merch and just go browse through our t-shirts and stuff. I got awesome apparel. The new Homeschooled sweatshirts are in, and the baseball tees, and they're dope. I got mine already, and I love them. And the we also have a bunch of accessories like masks and neck gaiters and dog hoodies. I got a Homeschooled Podcast dog hoodie. I put mine on my dog today because it was cold outside on our walk. Go check my Instagram for the pictures. It's freaking adorable. On social media, I'm at Agostino Zoida on everything. Please keep in touch. And that's it, you guys. I hope you stay safe. I hope I see you in Philly. And I'll talk to you later this week. I'm Agostino Zoida. This is Homeschooled Podcast. Homeschooled Podcast.
Homeschool.
The Homeschool Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that at all.